Hey, hello. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks a lot. This is Hamza Zawali, your host. I'm a career coach, I'm a business coach, and today we're going to be talking about how to get a promotion. In fact, I've been thinking about this title, and it could have been how to fast track your career growth. How to fast track your career growth. Why is it that some people get a promotion, but they're not necessarily better than the others in terms of skills? I'm sure it happened to you. You probably, perhaps you worked for a manager, for someone that you were reporting to, but that didn't know as much as you, that wasn't as good as you, that wasn't working as hard as you. Why is it that he got the promotion? Why is it that it's not someone like you? Why is it that getting a promotion is not necessarily based on your results or based on how hard you work or your attitude? In fact, with this presentation, I would like to share with you very quickly, a book that I've been reading. And this book is where I took most of his model. Basically, the author is called Joe Garfinkel. And this book is called Getting Ahead. Getting Ahead suggests a model, a 3-step formula to actually get ahead, okay, in your career. So I'm just going to use this book as sort of the basis, the foundation of my presentation, okay? So how to get a promotion, how to actually be in a situation where you constantly thought about for a promotion, okay? So let's begin. The first thing that you have to ask yourself is the way you are perceived. The way you are perceived plays a huge role in your career growth. You see, it's just the way it is. Myself, I have no idea how I'm perceived. I have clues on what people say, but the reality is, I just don't know. I have what I call, my own view of who I am and what I do and basically who I am. But how do I know how most people perceive me? And of course, we're talking about the perception test, okay? You have to immediately think about the perception test. Do you pass the perception test? Are you perceived as a future leader? Are you perceived as someone serious? Are you perceived as the funny guy in the team? Are you perceived as the one who's always late? Are you perceived as the one who's always coming up with sarcasm? Are you perceived as, I don't know, what are you perceived? Okay, how are you perceived? And this is very, very important. So essentially, it's your brand. We're talking about your personal brand. And this is extremely important because immediately when people talk about you, they associate a certain image. Okay, that's what we talk about personal branding. And this is very, very relevant when it comes to promotion because the people that get promoted are the ones that are perceived favorably, not the ones that are the best at what they do. So for example, you could be an IT professional and you could be just doing an amazing, powerful job. You could be, in fact, the strongest person in your team, but someone else is going to get the promotion. Someone else will be thought about, will be perceived as a better leader, as a better, fit for the company, as someone that would really deserve this promotion more than you. Why is it? Because that's your personal brand. Your personal brand, if you are doing an amazing job, but you are not perceived as someone that is really contributing or whatever, because your manager is not necessarily promoting your work, so people don't know you and you're not really perceived as someone that's positive, engaging, that's someone that's really here to grow and help the company. If you're just staying on your corner, then you see how personal brand affects your perception. And this is very, very relevant. How do others see you? This is important. I read so many things where people say, oh, it doesn't matter how others see me, etc. It does, because it's others that promote you. So the way they see you is very, very relevant, okay? That's very, very important. If they don't see you favorably, if they don't see you as someone that could get a promotion that would fit a certain role with certain responsibilities, then you won't get it, even if you are doing an amazing job. So this is where the frustration is. We see people passing someone that when it comes to being promoted, they arrived in the company later, they work not as hard as you, and you don't understand. Just the first step is to look after your perception. So essentially, how do others perceive you? Be honest, okay, and transparent and frank, and ask people to be exactly the same. Just say to people around you, your manager, your colleagues, etc., just tell them, hey, give me the best 3 words that would describe me, how you feel others see me. Just give me 3 qualities and 3 things that I need to perhaps improve. And this is how you're going to start data mining. You're going to start, gathering data when it comes to how others see you. And then you have also, how do you see yourself? Sometimes sarcastic individuals see themselves as funny, but perhaps they're actually annoying others. Sometimes negative people see themselves as people that actually debate, that are very intelligent because they're always challenging others, but because of your negativity, then you're not perceived favorably. That's very, very much important. And analyze the gap between what others see you and and how you see yourself. Okay, there's a gap there. There's always a gap. And then identify the you that you want to become. Okay, who do you want to become? Because once you have a goal, a personal brand guideline, okay, basically an objective, and not leaving this to leaving this to other people's opinion, and doing this randomly and just be as you are, then suddenly things change for you, because you're moving towards a direction. You're actually doing things based on a strategy, on the way you want to be perceived. Perception is important. It's others that promote you. So the way they perceive you is very, very important. Okay, so essentially, you know the saying, you heard it many times: dress for the job you want, not for the one you have. Okay, how do you dress? Okay, how do you act beyond even dressing? How do you speak? Do you speak for the job you want? Do you speak like a leader? Do you dress? Do you act? Do you think like a leader? Okay, it doesn't matter that you don't have the title manager or director right now. You have a potential to be a leader if you start portraying, if you start showing that you are like this. Okay, that's very, very important. Also, never complain, especially in tough times. What most employers are looking for is resolve, resilience, creativity, not complaining. Unfortunately, people complain. They always complain. People complain because of a policy change, because of, oh, we don't have this, we're not investing enough in this, and from complaint there's a mix of excuses, etc. Look, the perception that you're giving right now is really highly negative, and it's not serving you. It doesn't matter. It's not like it's going to change. Okay, so don't complain. Suggest solutions. Okay, be creative, find ways to make it better. Okay, associate yourself with highly regarded people in the organization. This is a very, very key thing. Unfortunately, throughout our career, when we work at any job, we usually associate ourselves based on how close we are culturally with someone, or based on how much we like this person, or how by age groups, or something like that. If you associate yourself with the wrong person, so for example, you associate yourself with a complainer, with a negative person, with someone that's always late, with someone that doesn't deliver on time, ultimately this is going to affect you. Ultimately this is going to touch you. The way he's perceived, you will get bits and bobs about it, because you're always together. And it's just so important that you choose people carefully. I'll be honest with you, I do the same with everyone. I choose people carefully. I promote people, demote people, and fire people when I need to. Whether they are friends, whether they are colleagues, it doesn't matter. I'm the CEO of my own career, of my own life, and I ask you to be the same. Choose the people you hang out with very, very much carefully. Okay, so in a careful way, because you know the saying, when if you want to fly with eagles, stop hanging out with turkeys. Well, time to associate yourself with successful people that are highly regarded. It could be a manager, it could be actually your mentor, it could be your mentor, but just spend time with them, ask for their time, okay? Because soon enough you'll be regarded with the same light, okay, by association, okay? Leadership is about having gravitas, that the way you speak, the way you behave yourself, your seriousness, maturity, thoughtfulness, wisdom, not always talking. So for example, the way you speak, you can portray seriousness and maturity. It's very important, okay? The language that you use, if you're using foul language, or if you're using really familiar language and you don't have a vocabulary that makes you or allows you to be perceived as someone that's has this gravitas, then you're not going to make it. Same thing with attire. A lot of people, they are so comfortable in their job. I know this because as a career coach, I help people in their career throughout. So a lot of people, they are so comfortable in their job that they start not looking after the way they dress, not looking after their desk. Their desk is a bit messy, and just they don't portray gravitas. And this is really important as well. The way you present, if you have a presentation to do for a project or in front of anyone, okay, remember, this is about how you are perceived. Prepare this presentation. Don't improvise. Record yourself before, so that you look your best. This is important. We're talking about your personal brand, the way you are perceived. You want to have a clear association, between when I talk to you about McDonald's, you have a certain perception of the brand. When I talk to you about Ferrari, you have a certain perception of the brand, but these perceptions are very different. I want you to be the Ferrari of your company. Just look after your image, okay? Learn when to talk and when to not talk, when to be silent, when to listen, okay? Because listening skills is really important. Also, if you want to be taken or if you want to be perceived as a future leader, what's very important is that you help and praise others. You act like a manager. Saying well done, good job to someone is not just the job of a manager. It's the job of everyone. You're doing good when you do that. Okay? That's very important. You want to be seen as an acting manager. Okay? So behave like this. Behave like you care about everyone succeeding. Behave like you care about the entire company. Behave like you care about the image that you portray to others. Behave like you care, because really your perception is going to change, okay? Their perception of you is going to change, okay? Step number two is really about visibility. So perception, the way you are perceived, could be one of the obstacles that is stopping you from getting promoted, okay? But the second step is really visibility. Are you visible enough? We talked about that person in IT. If you just stay in your corner doing an amazing job, but no one knows about you, you're not visible, good luck. Good luck. Because no one would have heard your name, no one knows you exist. Now, look, how can you actually think about being promoted for just doing your job? That's going to be very hard. It really hard. You've got to market yourself. You've got to be visible. You've got to make sure that everyone is aware. There's a formula that he mentions in the book, and this is a combination of two things. Get out of your box and speak to others. Speak to others in different departments. Introduce yourself, and when you introduce yourself, make sure you promote yourself. make sure you say, I'm actually the person that's in charge of the entire $1 million project. I'm actually the person that implemented this system. How is it going? Are you enjoying this? Is this okay for you? I'm just taking a bit of feedback. Oh, you're the one that put it in place. That just makes our life much easier. Wow, no, honestly, that's really good. And the second part is really praising others. You see, when you introduce yourself and promote yourself, now I'm not talking about bragging. There's a difference between informing others of what you do best, of where your expertise is, and bragging. Look at me, I've done this, check me out. No, that's not what I'm talking about, okay? And the second part of the equation is really kudos to you, okay? It's really, hey, well done. This person is great. And you do this publicly. And you say this to the person publicly. Because what happens is that with this formula, other people will reciprocate. Reciprocation is a human trait. When people say good things about us, we feel obliged, in a good way, to say good things back. And this is how more and more people are going to talk positively about you. Talk about visibility now. You're becoming more and more visible. And you see the work that you do, because you've been promoting your work while you speak to these people, then suddenly they're going to take what you're saying and they're going to promote you. They're going to promote you. And this is gradual. So this is not something that's going to happen overnight. You've got to build these things little by little. And this is really, really important. Okay. So how do you promote yourself without sounding arrogant and just bragging, etc., etc.? Well, first of all, over-deliver. Very, very important. Over-deliver. You know, one thing that I always advise my clients, for example, is to not wait for a performance review to talk about your achievements, but send an email once every month to say, hey, this is what I've achieved this month. This is how much money I saved for the company. This is how much cost. So I secured, I saved for the company. This is how much money I made for the company. This is how productive I trained someone as well. He now knows. All in all, I feel good about this month. What do you think? Is there anything that you'd like me to consider? Please feel free. Do you enjoy, now this is me talking to my manager, are you okay for me to give you monthly reports about how I progress? Honestly, I'm an employer. I've been a manager and an employer for years, and I can tell you, oh my God, this is a breath of fresh air. If someone tells me how much value he's adding to the company, to the role on a monthly basis, I love it. Because my job is to find out. My job is to always try and find out. You see, don't expect people to know. Don't expect your manager to know. He can't know. He can't know everything because he's not spying on you 100% of his time. He's doing other things. Okay? So take it on you. Remember, this is also going to help you in terms of perception. Okay? So over-deliver. Report on your quantified achievements, but also ask for more responsibilities. One of the greatest things you can do to a manager, to a director, is to say, hey, look, I'm over-delivering. I feel like I want to help you a little bit more. If there was one thing that you'd like me to, that you would love for someone to take over, that's really consuming a lot of your time and it's not really productive or whatever, what would that be? Can I give it a try? Because the more you do in this, and the more it's going to be obvious that you're the right person for the job, for the next job up. Besides, the more you take responsibilities, and the more at some point you will be discussing a salary adjustment. Because the salary that you have now is in line with the responsibilities that you are doing now. So if you take a lot of responsibilities, you're going to be able to say, hey, actually the salary that I have now was for this, and this. But as you know, now for the past 6 months, I've been doing this, and this on top of this. So I'd like to have an adjustment. I hope it makes sense. Ask smart questions. Now, this is really important, especially in meetings. Asking smart question is, number one, allowing you to get some visibility. People hear your voice, but also through the question, they have a glimpse of how intelligent you are, because the quality of your question is going to determine how intelligent you are. Really important. You will find that successful leaders are successful also because they ask very, very smart questions, deep questions. You will find that the quality of your questions is extremely important with the way you are perceived, and of course to give you that visibility. Okay, so don't be afraid to speak up, obviously, in meetings. Build and nurture the relationships with the people around you. I'm talking about the people that are perceived favorably, but even the ones that are not perceived as favorably, make sure you build a strong relationship, because there will be, now I didn't say make sure you spend time with the people that are not perceived favorably. I'm saying just make sure you don't fall into this gossiping, or because he did this or she said that or whatever, because that's not going to help your image. Okay, in terms of visibility, what's very important is that the more relationship you build and the more people talk about you. Okay, so I hope it makes sense. Now, gain face time with top executives. So for example, if you have projects, presentation where you know very top executives are going to be there, are going to follow the advancement of this project or whatever, then make sure you get this responsibility. Make sure you get on this project, because you're getting face time, more visibility. People are going to start remembering your name now. That's how people get promoted, by the way. So if you work on a project, make sure your name is on it. You know, I have a client of mine, last week she complained. She said, look, I do everything, and then she takes my presentations, she takes my reports, she takes everything, and she says, yeah, she did it. She never praises me. And I said, well, can you not just put it on the footer? Prepared by. Can you not do it, you know, as a small mark? Prepared by your name. Just try and make sure your name is on everything you do, especially the greatest thing that you do, the best things that you do. Okay, and also praise others. The more you praise others, the more you are perceived favorably, because everyone would love to be praised. This is great to be praised. You're doing good to others there, but also on top of this, you're actually very visible. You see, the people that praise are actually oftentimes leaders. So when you actually praise others, you'll find that people are going to become more and more addicted to your praises and recognitions, because you're doing them sincerely. You're doing them specifically. It's not a, hey, well done, man. No, it's, hey, man, I've noticed you're a hard worker. I've noticed you're always the last one, one of the last one to leave. Just wanted to say, for me, that's super impressive and inspiring. Just wanted to say. That's all. Well, thanks. In the beginning, it's going to sound weird, but these people are going to get used to this, and you're going to be super visible to them too. Okay, so find a way to make money. Find a way to make money. New idea, or save money, save costs, or improve productivity. Any tool, free thing, something that you found on the internet that actually can improve the life of so many people and make sure everyone is more productive and happier to do it. Do it. You know, I have a client of mine. She's a center director. And one of the things that she does is that she makes videos. So center director, nursery center director. And so she works with very small children. And one of the things that she does is that she creates videos that she shares online, social media. Okay, and she's not a client. Let me tell you the truth. She's my wife. But you know, I say this because I don't want you to feel that you know she has more things going for her. Not at all. She decided to also try and help the company market, promote themselves, be present on the social media sphere. And you know what? She's been producing videos very, very easily. But of course, she's been super visible to everyone because of that. And that's really, really important. Okay, so the third step, we're almost there. So we talked about perception and visibility. You need to be perceived favorably. You need to work on, let me just summarize now. You need to work on the way others perceive you, the way you think you are perceived, and the you that you want to become. You need to have that objective. And if it's a leader, if it's, you want to become that, okay? The second part is really about visibility. The more people talk about you, the more people know about you, the more the right people hear about you in a good way, because you are perceived in a good way, the more these two together combined, these two together are going to create the third step, which is influence. And influence is key, is critical, because one trait of a leader is that he's an influencer. Being an influencer means that people will turn to you and wait for you to give an opinion, or being an influencer means that you are recognized as an expert, for example, in your domain. Okay, and influence is key, very, very much so. So we're talking about leadership here. I don't care if you're not a manager, director, team leader, or whatever. Leadership is not about a title. Leadership is about influence. You see, a manager, he can be just a manager and threaten people. He can say, hey, if you don't do that, I will give you this. And if you do that, I will give you commission. And so manipulate, okay? Hey, if you don't come on time, I will take this money from your salary. Manipulate, exhaustion, okay? So basically trying to control by fear, etc., etc. And that's not what leaders do. What leaders do is that they work on themselves. They become so attractive that people want to follow them. People want to do what they do. People want to go where they're going. People want to follow them. They're inspired by these people, okay? So that's very, very important. Now, nurture your ability to persuade others. I don't care if you're not in sales. It doesn't matter. Your ability to persuade others is extremely important when it comes to influencing them, okay? If you're not able to, fight for your ideas, debate, really win people over, then you're not going to be able to persuade them. It's very, very important. Your ability to choose your words, and remember, the way you speak affects the way you are perceived. So the quality of your words, your temper, emotions, everything needs to play together here. These are not separate steps, okay? Nurture your ability to persuade others. Besides, speak up and share your ideas. You will need to persuade others if you do that. Remember, this is great in terms of visibility. To speak up during meetings, to share your ideas, even if you share your ideas in an email where your boss, the boss of your boss, and very key people are in the email, your ability to put together an argumentation, a sort of structure where it's logical and it makes sense, etc., is key. Plus, speaking up and sharing your ideas is about visibility. Try to become a problem solver. There's so much complaints. Let me tell you, being promoted nowadays is actually easy. You got to do your job, get some results, and stop complaining. Stop complaining, because most people complain. Most people complain. Most people are, have signed a deal with mediocrity. They have signed a career of mediocrity. They are happy with what they have. They complain a little bit. It's always the boss's fault, the company's fault. Just change that. Become a problem solver. Improve things. Think beyond your job. So, for example, one of the things that you can do is to improve processes, to improve systems, make them shorter. I have a client of mine, she's an accountant, and, I think payroll was taking 8 days and now it takes 3 days. And of course, I advise her to make sure this is going to be on her monthly reports of her achievements, whereby she reduced, she increased productivity by 2 for this task only. So freeing the company more manpower during the time that she saved to do other things. Is this good? It's fantastic. Okay, it's fantastic. Instill positive energy. You see, people that are promoted are positive. They're always positive. They are contagiously positive. They talk great about others. This is the person you have to become. This is the person you have to become. This is very, very important. And of course, mentor others. It's great to have a mentor. Now, you don't have to say, hey, hello, boss, do you want to be my mentor? I'm not saying this. What I'm saying is associate yourself and ask for advice. You will find that the mentor-mentee relationship will be created by itself without calling it, hey, can you be my mentor? No. And on top of this, make sure you're actually here for you reach back. Basically, when you move forward, you reach back. If you're doing well, you go back to the people that are really working hard, but they just didn't find the right way, system, they're not motivated. Go and help them, give them a hand, okay? Mentor them, encourage them. And also, a lot of people, and hopefully I will finish with this, they assume that a promotion falls from the sky, falls from your manager. The manager one day calls you and say, hey, you are being considered for a promotion. It doesn't work like that. A promotion, you see, your ability to persuade others, everything that you've been building, you've got to at some point ask for a promotion. You've got to at some point ask for a raise. Don't hope that, well, normally they see it, they should come to me if I'm doing a good job, otherwise. No, you've got to ask for it. If you apply these principles of perception, visibility, and influence, and you're able to actually ask for promotion, remember, you have monthly reports, you are very visible, everyone knows you, etc., etc. The promotion can't escape you. It's or you're in the wrong company. Okay, one more thing. So if you're working long hours, you might be sending the wrong signal for a promotion. You see, a promotion oftentimes means that you're going to get more responsibilities. If you're working long hours, the signal that you are sending is, I'm busy as I am. You see, I had a lot of employees that were working long hours, they were doing extremely well, and I loved them to bits. But I didn't consider them for promotion out of fear that they wouldn't be able to handle it, because they're already, overstaying in the company, finishing super late frequently. And of course, in my mind, I'm like, they're already struggling to stick to their time. And oftentimes, folks, it's about, time management. It's about productivity. It's about a few techniques here and there. I just had on last Thursday, I just had one of my clients. The topic of our one-on-one conversation was how to, generate more time in her day, because she's a project manager. She's extremely demanded by everyone. The phone rings, emails, pressure, her team is asking for things, and she doesn't have time to actually proactively build things. Okay, so we've been talking about time management. Time management is at the essence. It's too easy to say, oh, there's so much work. Look, you could stay late a few times. No one is going to say, otherwise, and you should, until the job is done. But when it comes to sticking to the time, or you can stay a little bit longer, try to be effective and efficient. Show that you can take more responsibilities, that you have space for that. Okay, over deliver, because the results will show that. And it's oftentimes about quality, absolute quality, daily organization. Okay, you've got to work on this skill. So be careful. If you're working really late, you're coming back in the weekends to do some extra work, you might not be the first choice when it comes to a promotion. It happened to me, and I just didn't find it in me to add more responsibilities, even if it meant adding more money. So be very careful. Efficiency is important. Efficiency, productivity is important as well. That's pretty much it, folks. So listen, I hope this was helpful. If it was, just please give it a thumb up. If it's, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, because I do, from time to time, I do videos where I answer these questions just for you. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, my Facebook group is called Name Your Career. Just go ahead and join us. And if you are on Facebook, but you haven't joined my YouTube channel, you should, because this is where I hide all my video courses for free. So you should really go to a channel on YouTube called Name Your Career. And until then, I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks a lot, actually, for watching. Please don't hesitate to share. This is really for everyone to stop being frustrated about, not moving as fast as they can. So share the love, and hopefully all the best to your success, and speak soon. Take care. Bye-bye.